Hello everyone, welcome to Rice Hour. I'm your host Fee, and as you can see, hey bars, I'm alone today. And you might be wondering, Vina, why are you alone sitting on this lonely couch by yourself? Well, the reason for that is because I ran out of friends. No, but actually, I wanted to try something new this episode. I wanted to see how I could make an episode by myself and see how that works. So we're trying something new. I was thinking for a really long time about what I could talk about for 20 minutes, and there's some topics that I could talk about for hours, and there's some topics that I could talk about for literally 5 seconds and I'm done with the conversation now. There was a topic that came up recently with one of my friends, and I thought to myself, wow, I genuinely do not like men. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do an episode on why I hate men. First of all, I do want to clarify that hate is a very strong word, and I don't want to get canceled. So I don't necessarily mean all men are bad. I do want to say that my experience with the men I've had have not been great. And maybe it has something to do with my trauma. Maybe it has something to do with my past. Maybe it has something to do with the men that I choose to be with. We're going to change the word hate to something else during this episode just because I don't want to get canceled by men, and men kind of scare me. I do want to clarify because a lot of people will probably say, Fina, how can you hate a man when you're literally dating a man? Don't worry about it, sweetheart. The reason why I don't necessarily like the presence of men has a lot to do with the fact that toxic masculinity plays a big role in their lives. I'm really trying to be careful with what I say because I don't want to die. Yeah, like toxic masculinity is a big role or a big problem in our society. A lot of men feel the need that they can't, or they don't feel comfortable to express themselves. I've been surrounded by a lot of men who feel like they have this entitlement to them. And when I mean entitlement, it's kind of like because you're nice to a girl, it means that you could get something in return. So for example, like, I don't know, oh, I took this girl, or I bought this girl flowers one week, and then the next week I bought her a little drink, and then the week after I walked her to her class, and then I asked her on a date the following week, and she said no, like I did everything. But did you really want to do that, or was the goal for you to get in her pants? They will do all of these nice things for you. Women will fall for it because they're like, wow, I've never seen a man open doors for me, walk on the right side of the road for me, drive me everywhere, buy me food, make breakfast for me in the morning, do these little things. And they think that they're having this princess treatment. Once they have you, suddenly that drops. Suddenly it's, oh, I'm too tired to do that. Oh, that's not me. I don't necessarily do that in a relationship. I only did that for you because I actually really like you. All this yip, yap, yap. Quiet down, be yourself. And if you can't get a girl that way, then maybe look at your reflection and then see what's wrong with it. Another reason why I do not like men is catcalling. I think every girl that I've ever been friends with or ever came across or crossed paths with, oh my god, that's a really hard word for me to say, all had their own experience of catcalling. And I wanted to share one of mine. The first time I ever was catcalled, I was 14, and my Lola used to live literally across the street from us. Like, in between us was like a highway, but it was literally like a block away from me. Like, I could look out the window and I see her apartment, but I would have to cross like this little highway intersection. Anyway, so I went out because my mom was like, hey, can you drop this off at your Lola's house? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I remember wearing a crop top and pajama shorts. They were really, really long. So literally all you could see is my arms. My crop top, I'm fairly tall, but my pants were high-waisted. And literally all you could see is my arms, my neck, and my face. And I was wearing little flip-flops. So I went out and I was dropping off my Lola's food that my mom made. And as I was crossing the street, someone was like yelling at me. Can't remember exactly what they said, but they were yelling at me from the car. And in my head, see, men really invade your space. Right, Boos? Period. Yeah, in my head, I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if they knew that I was 14 years old? This grown-ass man yelling at me from across the street has no idea that I'm a minor. And it's happened to me a lot in my neighborhood whenever I go out. Like, even when I was underage, like, I would always feel so disgusted every time a man were to catcall me in the streets. It's not something, because then what? Like, you're like, oh, hey, babes, like, let me get your number. Hey, ma, you're cute. What do you want me to say? Turn around and be like, I am 13 years old. Then what? It's quiet. From 14 to 17, every time I got catcalled in the streets or, like, looked a certain way, I just want to tell them so bad, babes, you can go to jail. What are you doing at 40 years old catcalling a 19-year-old? Go get a job. Go to your 9 to 5. What are you doing catcalling little girls on the street? There's a period of my life when I think I was 19 actually. I started barking because I was so tired of the men catcalling people on the streets. And there was one night where I was hanging out with my friends and we were on a little drive. And I was like, fuck it. They keep looking at us when we're in the car. Let me start barking at them. So I had a whole summer where I was just barking at men. And it kind of, when I say that out loud, it sounds ridiculous. And people might be like, okay, this bitch is crazy. But what is the difference between me barking at you in the street and you telling me that I'm cute? Unsolicited. I don't need your compliments. I got a man at home who want me. I can see myself in the mirror. I know I look good. Don't worry about me. There was this time where I ordered an Uber because I wasn't driving yet. And I ordered an Uber from my house to my boyfriend's house to my house. And when the Uber came to pick me up, my man was at the door with me. He gave me a little kiss, whatever. Get inside the Uber. This brown man. Okay, and as I think I've made it pretty clear, I am half brown, and it says it in my government first name. So when I order an Uber, a lot of brown men can easily tell that I am brown. So I get in this Uber, and this guy is like, oh, is that your boyfriend? No, I'm over here kissing strangers. Yes, that's my man. And he's like, oh, are you Indian by chance? I'm actually half Pakistani. And he starts asking me about my life. Girl, I just want to put my headphones in. It is 10 p.m. Get me fucking home. And the drive from my boyfriend's house at the time and the place where I was living at before, it was maybe a 30-ish minute drive. So he starts asking me about, my family. Like, oh, you're half Pakistani in what? Are your parents Muslim? Do they know you're dating a black man? First of all, it's none of your business. Don't worry about me. And he had the audacity to be like, have you ever dated a brown man before? I'm like, no, I've never dated a Pakistani man before. He's like, why? We could treat you so much better. Yip, yap, yup. I don't want to hear it. My dad is not the best of men in the world, and this man is Pakistani. You really think I'm gonna take him as an example and start dating brown men? No. He also, oh my god, he even took the wrong exit when he was like, first of all, focus on your driving. Don't worry about who I'm dating. Mind your business. And he was like, oh, so I'm dropping you home? I was like, fuck no, you're driving me to my friend's house. This is not where I live. Because why would I tell you where I live? Because then you're gonna know where I live and I'm gonna feel unsafe. And this is like, we created this environment for what? You could have just stayed silent. I could have put my headphones on. Like, some people might have said like, oh, you could have just easily like ignored this man, but that's just awkward. I thought we were gonna be bonding over here about being brown, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so ha ha he moment. But then he was like, Do your parents know you're dating a black man? Yes, mind your business. Like, that actually pissed me off so much, and I just wanted to take him from the neck. But he needed to drive me home. When I was 16, I want to say, I was working this job, like this summer job, that will stay anonymous because we have beef. And I was, 16, underage, and I was working until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'd be working until 5 a.m. And if you guys don't know, that's illegal if you don't have parents' permission. And my parents didn't sign any permission for that. It was a place where I was getting hit on a lot. And at first, I was like, great, I'm getting hit on, but the tips is crazy. I love getting tips. So, and it wasn't like I was wearing anything provocative. I was literally wearing my uniform, which is a polo t-shirt. My hair was in a cap, and I was getting hit on by men at 16. Do I play with it and get the money, or do I not play with it and not get money? So, in my head, little 16-year-old, I just, I kind of wanted to make my tips. So it was the first, like, big boy job that I had. So, I kind of played with it. Now, this kind of leads me into the conversation that's happening today, which is the man versus bear argument. I'm pretty sure if you're brain rotting yourself on TikTok, you've heard of the argument of, would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear? And a lot of women are like, I'd rather be stuck in a forest with a bear. And a lot of men don't understand that. Like, I've seen so many videos of men being like, oh, a bear could do so much more damage than a man. Like, a bear will kill you. But who says a man won't kill me? So, what's tea? I want to give my 2 cents to that argument. I think it's pretty clear that I would rather be stuck in a forest with a bear. First of all, bears are mad cute. Have you seen them? They are bears. There's literally stuffed animals built in inspiration to them. A bear will mimic the vibes that you give off. I think there's like this one sentence of like, I might get this actually wrong because I don't even know. I've never been faced with a bear, but I think it's like, if you see a black bear, you lay down or some shit. Or if you see a brown bear, you be aggressive. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't really know. We have studied animals to the point where we know how they're going to act in different situations. But a man, you'd never know. So that's my little sense to that conversation. I don't want to get in too deep to that because obviously I've been saying so much. There's this other saying of boys will be boys. That sentence just basically validates a man's behavior. I do want to clarify also that I'm not always a big fan of girls as well. Oh my god, Vina doesn't like anyone. Yes, I'm just a hater. What are we gonna do about it? Have y'all heard of that one girl, Pearl? I think her name is Pearl. This is one white girl who goes on to podcasts talking about how much women aren't doing enough for men. I think she said at one point like, oh well, your man has to come home after his long day and he has to have food on the table, so why are you not providing food for him? Why are you not cleaning the house for him? Yep, mad biggest pick me I have ever seen or ever heard in my life. She's anti-women basically, and it's funny to me because she talks about how much you're supposed to be treating a man in a relationship, and yet she has no man. So she's an example of a girl I would not be a girl's girl for. Since I've been talking so much about how much I don't like men, we could get into some type of girls I do not like, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh Vina, how can you start trashing men and now you're gonna start trashing women? It's my podcast, and if you want to listen to it, listen to it. If you don't, mind your business. But one of the types of women that I do not necessarily enjoy is the type of women who will go after your man if you've publicly made it known that you're in a relationship. There are some women out there, and I always thought this was a joke, but there are some women out there who will literally only go after taken men. In past relationships where that has happened, I wasn't so confident But I am very much in a happy relationship now where I could say that, yeah, my man will not fold. My man is very much in love with me. And another woman will not change that. If you were one of my friends and you asked me to, lie for you when you go cheat on your man, I'm not gonna lie for you. I'm not gonna support actions that I don't necessarily agree with. So I'm gonna keep this episode short because I don't have anyone here, and I also do not want to be canceled because I'm a little bit afraid of men. But if you did enjoy this episode, let me know. I enjoy feedback. If you didn't like this episode as well, please let me know as well. I'm just trying to improve in every aspect. If there's any topics that you want me to touch on, please let me know as well. But yeah, that's the end of episode 3. Yo hablo español, and I'll see you next time. Bye.